And we are live. My name is Michelle Moras, and this is.
Dr. Smiley, and I am looking for your live feed, and it doesn't say I can do any type of share yet.
Oh,
So I'll share.
really?
Yeah, I'll share up the show. Don't worry about it. There's so many
Okay.
people
Well,
waiting on my page. Your page is going to be the first recipient, as it should be, because it's a big doggone show about you and Hold My Crown.
I know I'm so excited. So, we're basically today's whole theme is updates and independence.
Birthdays and books and shout outs.
Okay. I'm waiting for eyeballs to pop up before I starting the birthday
Man,
shout out.
you are the eyeball like looker. I mean, has there ever been a better looker for eyeballs than you?
You have a good eyeball looker look.
Well, I do, and it goes in the camera mostly. But I saw this funny cartoon. It was a guy. He's reading on the wall the eye chart, and
Mhm.
it says, "This is an eye chart from an insane eye doctor who's about to," and it gets smaller, going to kill you. So the eye doctor is being.
That's terrible.
Well, it's terrible, but it's funny too at the same time because he's leaning in trying to read the final words.
Okay, well, my name is Michelle Moras. This is Dr. Smiley, otherwise known
I love
as
how you
Ken
went
Smiley.
Doctor Smiley. That's like Doctor. Like what is that group?
Doctor, doctor, can't you see I'm burning, burning? Yeah,
What is the
yeah, I
group?
do it.
I
Oh, they
remember.
have a double name too.
Well, and it wasn't Talk, was it? No, it wasn't Talk, because
Doctor,
Talk
doctor.
was just my life. Yeah, we have to come back with that one. We have to put the song in the comments. Anytime we don't get something right, we have to put. Well, even if we do,
Yeah,
that is
and
crazy.
it's not Kajagoogoo. What? I'll get
It was
Kajagoogoo
definitely
going
not
on.
Kajagoogoo. No,
No.
I'm Too Shy was Kajagoogoo.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. But
okay,
they
so
have a double name too.
I mean, technically they do. Let's see. It was Thompson twins, and I would hardly call that a double. That's just the twins word you're using, double.
There were two. Okay. Welcome to Amplifluence. And what is Amplifluence, Ken? Before we go.
You always quiz me, and I hope I get it right this time. Amplifluence is amplifying influencers because we care about influencers that cause positive vibes, inspiration, and most importantly, hope for those that don't think that they have the power to make a difference in the world. We're living proof that you can. How about that, Michelle? Was that pretty good?
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much for being so concise.
I'd like to do a letter A today, just out of the gate. I know we've done A before, but this is my A
I know,
today.
but I thought you wanted to do the birthday call out.
I do, but I want to do A before birthday. Man,
Oh, A, then B. Okay, what's the A?
the A is add value to life. Add value to life is Robert Peterson and his lovely wife, Noelle Peterson. They have a lovely book called The Entrepreneurial Mindset Shift. And the reason I want to give a shout out first and foremost to them is they are making our show and Keep Smiling and Perfect Publishing a sponsor of their podcast. And they bring some of the coolest people on their podcast. They're also the ones that help supported us hitting the magic number of
100.
we hit 100. So thank you, Noelle and Robert, for being a stand for leadership and a stand for our show, Perfect Publishing, and just leaders that bring value to life. So I want to do that because I do not want to forget to thank them. They are so cool.
All right. Woo, woo.
Woo-hoo.
Okay.
So we're going to
Not a
birthdays.
B.
Immediate birthdays. All right. So we have Alex Loewy, and
Oh my goodness. Right
he's
now.
May 14th. He's a photographer in the Philadelphia area, and he is one of the people that's crazy enough to have people hold Keep Smiling cards. 6 or 7 years he's been doing this with us. Nick Halleck, and he's 515, and he is an astronaut in the waiting, and he's invested or put a hold some crazy amount of millions, something like $20 million, to be in line to go to Mars. Crazy.
That's awesome.
I think that's pretty cool. My brother, Taurus 515. He's just had his birthday, and we didn't say these birthdays. That's why I'm doing them now. Okay, and I'm not doing all of them, but Bree Owens, she's a fashion designer in Baltimore. She's brought much love to the studio. You were at the studio at BWI. That's a B, BWI studio. And then we have, I'm going to a couple of, guess who? Dr. Pauline Crawford.
Yes.
522. That's a biggie. And our lovely influencer, inspirator of wellness. Look at this. The name, Dr. Vinny.
Dr. Vinny.
Dr. Vinny. Thorold Corin from the Corin Brothers. Phenomenal musicians. They help you find your song. And since you like to sing, I'll tell you, this is a group that you will be blown away by. They open up for Coldplay and all kinds of other amazing groups. Scott Duffy, who's a veteran, since we have Memorial Day coming up this weekend. Good old 524. Scott, love you. Let's go with, I think, one of the best governors in the United States, Governor Larry Hogan. 525. And, oh my gosh, Michael Yang, who created ManyChat, which is automated bots that help you basically have customer service on the fly if you programmed it correctly. One of your friends and mine, Deborah Fink, 527. That's today. That's today. And Jim Koch. Do you know what Jim Koch did?
No.
He is the guy that created Samuel Adams beer. Isn't that amazing? And then my good friend Joe Cottrell. And you're going to love this. You're going to think a pop-up just happened right on the show. MJ's birthday.
Oh.
MJ's birthday is tomorrow. And I think I'll end with Paz Simpson. Paz is the engineer of happiness. So those are my birthdays. We neglected. Oh, and Aiden, the backpack of
Aiden's Backpack Club. And his Backpack Club is all about stopping bullying. And with what happened the last couple of days, really like supporting Aiden's Backpack Club because he was being bullied and he started a nonprofit to help other kids come together to stop bullying. So check him out, Aiden's Backpack Club.
And I adopted him at the Colorado Springs book club.
Yes, you did.
So I'll say,
well,
son.
I have 3 birthdays.
Well, before you do, I just want to say happy birthday, son, Aiden.
Aiden.
From your adopted dad. Before
wait,
you
wait,
do
wait.
it, wait, just 1 second. I'm sorry, but I thought about this. We're not going to be doing another show until next week. Can I give a couple for the weekend, please? Malia Snowden, she has her book coming out very soon. Kenny Harper, who is a wonderful person. He's got a book called Amplify. He's got such, and then Geetha Krishnan, she's a podcaster, and then Catherine Zito. That's my final one. So they are all people that just shine in the world and deserve to be amplifluenced during the show. Your turn.
My turn. I went up to Baltimore to be at Dr. Maureen Albert's, McIntosh Albert's birthday.
I love how you did B Baltimore too at BWI. That's so cool.
Yes, her birthday was on May 22nd. So I went out and spoke at her birthday. She graciously let me stay at her house and then met all of her friends and her family. And it was phenomenal to hang out with her. And we have a lot of things coming up in the works. Yes, she is in my birthday book. She's one of the queens. And then the next person I wanted to shout out is a good friend of mine from back in my Toastmaster days. And I always seem to run into her once a year and we catch up like we've never been apart. And her name is Stacey Williams. Her birthday was yesterday. You see, I had to write everything down because you wrote it all.
I like how you have the yellow card with your yellow uniform.
I'm in a yellow mood today. And now the reason why I'm using yellow is on June 19th, one of your authors and one of my authors, Sally Wurr, and I are doing a premiere show of our TV show on Zandra TV. And one of the interviews that we had was with the Lemonade Legends. And the host of that show is Michelle Faust. And today is her birthday. And everything she does is in yellow. So in celebration of Michelle, I am wearing yellow for Lemonade Legends. So if you are interested in you're in the Denver area, or you can fly into the Denver area, it's Father's Day. I know. June 19th, because Ken can't come because it's June 19th. But if you are in the Denver area, write me or go to my page. I've been putting up a flyer for a pre-launch party. We are hosting a celebration party for the Zondra TV that Sally and I are both on. Come out, come celebrate with us. And if you really, really, really want a book, Hold My Crown or one of Sally's books or one of my other books, come on out. We'll probably have them with us.
That sounds like the Spice Girls. If you really, really, really want my book. You know, I feel horrible right now.
Why?
I'm looking at this nice stack of books, and I just got the shipment of Sally's books, and they're upstairs. And I would have to leave this podcast and let you run it and go get the book if you want me to.
How could I ever run this by myself? I mean,
Are you scared?
I wouldn't know what to do.
You know what you can do? You can talk about the July 4th event, and that'll give me enough time to get back with Sally's book. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm gonna just put it.
Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna share a screen of this really cool picture you took out in Times Square.
Oh, good to do that. That's great.
Let's see if I know how to share a screen. A window? No, a tab. A window? It's not going to let me. Okay, never mind. My computer won't let me share that screen picture. I wonder if that would work. Well, anyways, this past weekend, I went up to see Dr. Maureen for her birthday, and then I was asked to go up to New York, and I'd never been to New York. It was the first time I'd been there. And then Mr. Ken, nope, that's not going to be it either. Mr. Ken helped me get to Times Square, which was scary but fun. We went to a modeling thing, a whole modeling show, and it was just such an experience to be there at all. I mean, I was thrilled just to be there. And Ken shared with me that we had to get to Times Square, and I'm about to sneeze, so that's probably not a good thing. Hold on a second. Anyways, Ken got me to go to Times Square. We went to a modeling show, and we met with Janelle Harris, and we sat in the VIP section, and we saw these beautiful models running around on the stage. And then we're like, oh, we've got to go. We have to get to Times Square. And I'm like, oh, what are we getting to Times Square for? And Ken's like, oh, I've got some authors going up on the board. My son's book is going up on the board in Times Square. Now, I've never been to Times Square, so I really had no idea what book on the board meant. To me, I just thought it would be, I don't know what I was thinking. But I get to Times Square with them. We go from rooftop to rooftop as we're waiting for a certain time to happen. And then the scenery from the tops of these enormous buildings are just staggering. And then at 10 o'clock, we had to be down in Times Square. And so we ran down to Times Square, and Ken's like, film that board. So I go on a Facebook Live, and I'm filming the board and filming. And then my book popped up. Hold My Crown popped up, and I can't share the screen. It makes me sad. I'll have to share a picture. It won't let me share the screen, Ken.
Well, it makes me sad that I must have taken the books of Sally's to the office. So that's where they are. I don't see them here. That was a futile trip. So we'll give a link to Amazon, and I just was so excited about showing that book that I got. I got actually 4 of them too. I don't see them. Hey, maybe they're over here. Let me see. Could I have outsmarted myself? I did. I outsmarted myself.
Yay!
I didn't have to go upstairs. They're up. By the way, I only have 2 extras. Maybe we'll give one to somebody on the show that calls in or messages and says how much they love us and they love Amplifluence and Sally. Isn't that awesome?
Sally's pretty awesome. That's a beautiful cover. Who took that picture?
Well, I did, but I want to say that I love Sally because she didn't let it settle to be just a great shot or a great solution. She wanted the best solution for her book, so I just kept working on it. And this kind of you shared it best. You said it's not just about the key to open the door; it's the light behind the door. that actually
It's the light
causes.
behind the door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're going to do some books, right? So your book comes out, the new one comes out in a couple.
Can we talk about Independence Day yet?
I thought you already did while I was gone.
No, I was talking about you bringing me to New York and blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
And
okay.
I didn't
Hey,
understand.
so for Janelle, can you, since we want to thank her, she's the one, Janelle Harris with
I mentioned her.
Okay. I just wanted you to, I don't know if you had answered this question. How did you feel when that happened?
Kind of shocked and elated at the same time because I started screaming, but I realized I was live on Facebook. And so I was like, and I wanted to run and scream and go hug you and go hug Janelle, but I couldn't stop recording because I didn't know how long we were going to be on the board. I didn't understand the whole concept of it. But
Well,
yes,
it's new to me too, but I've talked to Janelle since then. And I told her that since we have about 50 authors in Perfect Publishing, we'd like to know if 10 or 20 or 30 came to New York, could we make it happen that as a kind of a field trip, so to speak, of Times Square? And you'd come up with the idea of adding it on to the Independence Day launch. So we have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th in DC, 6th and 7th in July, we're talking, for the Times Square, Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island, and then Empire State Building. I think those are the 4 we can fit in during that period of time.
Yeah. And it's an elite thing. So it's very select on who gets there and who's going to do that. And are we opening this up to everyone or just those of us who are part of the Perfect Publishing? I mean, how's this working?
I think because this was such a special moment for you, I think we'll have special pricing for Perfect Publishing, dramatically reduced because they're family. And then anyone else who wants to experience this, I promise you it's priceless. And we'll give you an experience that you will say this probably changed your life. I mean, the way you acted and shared and how the world reacted, not just you. You had over 500 people react to your story. And that's only one.
No, to my live.
Yeah, just to your
now,
live.
Because now the video has hit 2.3K.
Yeah. And then Jody Watley. I mean,
I'm looking for a new love, baby.
yeah, so Jody Watley was right before you, or right? No, it was right after you. Yours was first.
She went first. No, because I saw her first. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Jody Watley. It's Jody Watley. And I'm over here talking about Jody Watley. And then my book popped. I'm like, my book.
And then she shared it, and you said it did how many?
2.2. Well, right now it's like 2.2, 2.3.
2.2 thousand. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was screaming, oh my gosh, it's Jody Watley. I love Jody Watley. And I'm talking back to, because Janelle was on the ground. I was on the stairs. And then my book popped up. I'm like, oh, my book.
Well, we missed a shot that someone said that you need to get. So the cool thing about that is everything's a learning experience. And I think that what you shot was cool because it was genuine. It was in the moment. But when we go back up July 6th or 7th, I think it's gonna be the 6th in the evening, 9 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, because it's Sunday.
We're gonna have cameras around you so that you actually have the video component, you have the photography, but every person that wants to see, they're gonna look at it and they're gonna turn back and we're gonna take the photo and the video of them and the reaction. Because it is it's another level. It's another level. I mean,
elation is what it is. It was, I couldn't believe. And then all these people around us, all these hundreds and hundreds of people are like, who's that? What is that? I'm like, that's my book. Yeah, it was a little insane.
Yeah.
Well, like,
and by the way, everyone that you've given this to has just been also elated at the beautiful hardback book. And every queen in here, you were so careful about selecting someone that was high quality. This is not a compilation book. This is a launch pad for a lot of leaders, authors, inspirers, innovators. So I'm so happy to say that Genesis Gomez is starting her own book. We have Jennifer Myers, who's working on, I think, 2 books. And Sally, of course, is here, and she's working on 3 books. Emmy is working on her book. Erin is working on her book. All of them are doing great things, but those are some that come to mind that have contacted me and said, oh, Colette Smith is working on her book.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's working on a children's book. So you have half half of your authors are right now declaring that they're working on something.
Well, because that was part of the deal when they came into the book, is I said, I want you to share a part of your story, but I want you, once you see your words in print and
Mhm.
see that you're affecting the world in a positive way, you'll get the courage to write your own book. So share the story so you can get the courage enough to do your own. Or as they all like to say to me, Michelle makes us jump. Well, I'm
Yes.
getting them to jump again. And yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Pauline's birthday. God, I love that one.
Well, the reason I'm showing that is two reasons. One is she's the one who's given us both an access to Dr. Jim Oms, who put us into his entrepreneurology program. And
Doctorate program, yeah.
yes, and what a difference that's made for me. I mean, Dr. Smiley sticks so much easier than anything I've ever had as a name. And I want to just say that your book has so many cool people in it now. But here's Nancy.
Nancy alert.
Yeah. And we didn't give a shout out. So I'm so glad I opened the page. Isn't that cool? So that's May 26th. That's yesterday. And then here's.
Yeah, there's Deborah.
So these are really amazing people. And the cool thing about this is there's blank pages. If you are, if your birthdays are on a blank page and you want to say, hey, I'm up to being a queen, or I'm doing queen things and I'm making a difference and I'm inspiring people, and I'm basically taking my crown off to get my hands dirty and make a difference in the world, you need to contact Michelle.
Yes, you do. Now hold up the book again.
It'd be my pleasure.
Thank you. Keep Smiling. We changed the name to Keep Smiling. Birthdays happen. Because if you watch me, I am very proud and happy that I wake up every day, that we should be celebrating our birthday every moment, every day. And that these birthdays that we are actually given for coming out into the world is a particular day, but every day is magical. Yeah, Shirley Lou. What day is it? Oh my, she's coming up.
This is March 23rd. No, March 23rd.
That was when we first met her. We met her on her birthday.
Exactly. And what I'm doing is I just grabbed open a page. You're gonna remember this. I just want to see your reaction and have the audience see it too.
Oh, Bree.
and she's September 8th. So it's funny, but it's not that we want to forget people. It's just we go back to life, and life is a habit, and we don't think of what we haven't integrated enough that they become part of our life. So this book, as well as the memories that Facebook gives you, and your phone actually putting the wrong name in your phone, and you have someone come and go, oh my God, I haven't talked in a while. These are things that help us reconnect, and reconnecting is probably a neat theme for a future show.
Yes. Now, my birthday book that Ken created is more than just a birthday book. Each one of them has a quote underneath each woman.
Oh my goodness.
Sally! But the thing about it is, eventually what I'd like this book to grow to is almost like a Rolodex of people I know and love and trust, that kind of thing. And as Ken suggested, that, we'll put QR codes with their name, just like in his other book, where you've got the image of their book in the corner, a book, and then a link to how to get to their book. These books are, I think, Ken, they're brilliant. And that you gave me a birthday book before my birthday is really cool, but every day is my birthday, so it works really well. I love the idea of this, and I can't wait to expand it, because this is the Queens. We'll have a Kings. I mean, it just keeps going, and I'm excited. July 4th is going to be monumental, and I have my quote book coming out.
Oh, and Tony Barrett has his quote book. I mean, his poetry book coming out. I mean, what a great combination both years. He's just about to close it out this weekend, so he's going to go to print next week, and then we have some republishing opportunities with your previous books.
Yes, my Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. Eat, Drink, and Be Merry is coming back out. Oh, I never chose a cover. We need to do that. But this is the book, my quote book coming out, Pearls of Wisdom. Quotes to inspire an unapologetic life. Woo woo. And this picture was taken by Paul Deanda, and he is a man I went to school with in the Philippines. I went to high school with him.
And
he lives in Baltimore. And I mean, it was just so cool. And when I saw this picture, I said, oh my gosh, I love his pictures. Paul takes amazing photographs, and he's got a couple of, he just has amazing photographs, and I want them. And
we should make a book of photographs.
I want to. Well, anyways, when I was looking for a cover for this book, I'm like, I want to highlight Paul. I want to highlight Paul. And so I called him and asked him if there was anything. Alistair, hi. Nice to see you. Alistair's watching from YouTube.
Awesome.
Anyways, I wanted to say, thank you to Paul for this picture, for allowing me to use this picture, and that he will be joining us on July 4th at the book launch also, because I want to see more of his art and I want you all to meet him. So if you have time, if you can, meet us in DC, July 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6 in New York.
It looks very favorable that that's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure we are, just because we don't play small.
Well, and that shot, I mean, I went 2 weeks in a row to see my son have his video up, and I mean his book up, which is actually one of the things we're not going to show today because I left his book upstairs. Actually, wow, I did it twice. So anyway, I want to say this because this is important. I went up to see my son's book go up 1 week, and because it didn't go up because of, we'll call it technical issues, I decided to go up the next week because I was determined to see my son's book go up and show my son that his book's in Times Square. And you became available. And so I said, let's surprise Michelle with this. And so you got to see your book. I'm going up a third time. I'm going up until I see my son's book up there, because there is no technical difficulty that will stop. And by the way, I heard a commencement speech for graduation, and it was the comedian Dr. Ken. I can't remember he's the Asian guy, but I can't remember his last name. But he said, it's not intelligence that will make you successful. It's not how hard you work. It's not how lucky you get. It's persistence. And so I resonate with that, because everything I've gotten in life, it's always been because I didn't quit. I just persisted, to include keeping my studio, to include the big volume 5, which you're in, volume 5. I mean, it is unbelievable. Sally's in there. Genesis in there. All these amazing people.
What was that? You need to hold it up again so we can see it.
It is the Dose of Hope Part 5. This is part 4, I think.
Dose stands for dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin,
and endorphins. And Hope stands for hold on, pain ends.
Okay. And those are short stories with trivia questions after. So everyone writes about 3,000 words total. And it's a story of what keeps us smiling, what brings hope into the world for us, right? How we bring it.
It's how we created the who that we love, to create a purpose that we can really get excited about, and how that impact actually makes us matter. So the way you said it is perfect. The way I said it is also a great way of describing it. It's a TED Talk that's mixed with some chicken soup for the soul.
That's what I was after. Okay, now, so C is for character connection, and that's what Amplifluence is all about. We bring in people.
We're not done with books, though, are we?
What?
We're not done with books. We're not done with books.
Oh, we aren't?
No, I got more.
Keep going.
I got some more.
Come on, keep doing it. Move it.
This is an early one for those of you, Father's Day. This is 100 things to teach your son. I taught my son with this, and if you want the copy of that, you can have it. 50-book challenge on fatherhood. 50 books that if you read them 1 hour a week, you will be a better father. The good old 50-book challenge for happiness. Tell us about this book.
I can't.
Okay, you won't.
No, because Scarlett is, I went to go get my car worked on, and the man in the service department overheard that I'm an author and that I work with a publishing company. And he says, my daughter has a book. She self-published it. And I went, oh, what is it? And he goes, oh, she writes these children's books. And this one's called Scarlett. And it's a series. And she would like to be part of a family, a team. And so I invited her to join us. Yes. That's book 1. I invited her to join us in Perfect Publishing, and you will be talking to Heather. Yes, you will be talking to Heather about Scarlett and the futures of her books, so that she can be joining our family on July 4th.
Awesome. I just got this book in the mail. It is volume 16 of Profiles in Success. These are people more in the DMV area than other areas, but I think it is the United States, but I made the cut. There it is. Yes. So this is his version. That's my version of it. My version was picking 100 people that he had interviewed out of 650. This is the printed 16th volume. It's different. It is different. He picked different people than I did. He had done 700 profiles, and I said, I need to find 100 that I would actually want to invite to the Dose of Hope. So his name is Gordon J. Bernhardt, and he is a financial wizard, manager, investor, advisor, and he is a very good friend too. And his birthday, since we're speaking birthdays and so close to being books and birthdays, is the only birthday that is in action.
March 4th.
March 4th. New lovely client joining our marketing family is Troy Seuss, and this is his book. He's interested in making this into a movie. I want to get a copy of this to you, Michelle. You're going to love this book.
Okay. I think I'm seeing you next week.
Yeah, and I'll get some more copies. I want about a dozen of these copies. They're amazing.
Alistair Banks is also an author. You should come to July 4th.
She should. And then Joey Joyful has his own book, and he sent me this book, and I've read half of it already. It's a brilliant book.
Hell yeah or no.
And then look at the subtitle.
Yeah, what's worth doing?
Yeah, and this is the author, and it's very interesting what he wrote. I'm blown away because this is the author in the back. Okay, that's what he looks like. But he writes.
He has your same barber.
Yeah, he does. He says, if you wish to know more about me or my work, go to it's sive.rs. It's all there. Anyone who reads my books is my kind of person. So please go to sive.rs/contact and to email me and say hello. Ask me anything or just introduce yourself. I read and reply to every email, Derek. I love that about the author. This is probably one of my most favoritist about the authors.
Favoritist?
Well, that's the way Kenny would say it. And by the way, Kenny is learning how to drop costed down to cost. So he expands words. He's doing his own grammar thing. Oh,
we have all sorts of people on. We only see like 5 of you, but there's a whole bunch of you. Hi, Charles. Hi, Jeanette. I can't see Dakota, Marcel.
Dakota Blue?
They're all saying hi from one of the channels, but it's only showing me the YouTube watchers, and there's only 5 of you.
Well, I need to just take a little break here. I have 2 more books and only 2 more books, but I have to take a break and say my son's book, the new one that's on my Facebook page, is Kenny's Favorite Places in America. And yesterday goes down as one of the biggest, bestest days of my life.
And his life. Well,
and his life. And believe it or not, possibly even the principal's life.
Yeah, because that was incredible. Okay, what is it? What happened?
Well, he presented the principal with an autographed and typed in that Mr. Martin was the best principal. It's printed on every book of his. And so Mr. Martin was, I think, as elated as you see in Times Square. He was touched, moved, and inspired. He spent 30 minutes with Kenny. I saw him get extremely emotional, and I knew that what we're doing right now makes a difference. He said it with his emotion. He walked Kenny to class, and I walked away from the school saying, "This is big. This is big what we're doing." And so Kenny doesn't necessarily know it, but he does know on some level how big this is, because he's getting really very confident. And that's just a big way of saying that he's coming into his own. He's coming into his power. I did want to give a shout out to 2 other people that mean a lot to me, and they are father-based books. This one, Becoming Significant, by David Fagan and Isabel Fagan. I bought this book. It was a little pricey, but worth every cent. It's $40. It's a hardbound book. It is. I'm just going to open up to any page and just read 2 things in the book. All right. The greatest pleasure in life is doing what others say can't be done. Unknown is and then the other one, at any given moment, you have the power to say, this is not how the story is going to end. Unknown. This book is friggin' brilliant. By the way, it is got all kinds of great graphics. The shout outs are amazing. I can't stop reading this book. And it says, so the first page about this book, it says, experience, and it goes into all the information about what experience is. And it's different on purpose. And then let's see, I'm going to find one thing that this is what David Fagan wrote that's in the book right here. I'm going to read this and I'll close the book. Okay. Have an unwavering conviction that your life has meaning and that you are a force to be reckoned with. David T. Fagan. So I was I can't help myself. I'm going to do one more from the book. It's on the other side. Last one. We are not in a position in which we have nothing to work with. We already have capacities, talents, directions, missions, and callings. Abraham Maslow. And the last book I'll share with you is very relevant to you because it's yellow. It's
Good morning,
very
Brian.
big, and it is.
Oh yeah, we met him in Baltimore.
And you know what? As I've reread it, Michelle, I have to say I've gotten more value. I read it about 3 or 4 times, and Kenny's enjoying it. He inscribed it to me. This is Lawrence N. Rosenblum. Phenomenal.
Sure, Dad, you know everything.
Yes, and it's kind of a biggie, but he actually really goes in deep on topics that I wouldn't have thought of, and they're just so much fun. So my first way of reading it was I know it, and then I started seeing that he expanded so dramatically on the topic. I said I never thought of all that stuff. So
he was building is what he does.
Yeah,
He builds.
yes. Well, I was doing it randomly. I was opening up, and that's what he said. He says, "Enjoy this book by opening it randomly." Well, I opened it randomly some things that were, let's just call it basic, and Kenny would know it and not really think. But when we go to bigger things, it went way deep, like 5
The book
pages.
is this thick. You know darn well he went deeper.
Yes, he did. I'm not. I'll just give you one. I'll just give you one quick example. Sayings and quotes. He goes 3 pages of his favorite quotes. That's certainly going deeper. All right. So, and for those of you who've never been to the show before, we just recently translated.
List of books. He's going to have to write the list of books because he's the one who's reading them all out. So
I will list them. I'll put connections on Amazon. And for those of you, this is your first show seeing it. People don't know we've actually translated "Keep Smiling" into Jamaican. Here's the new "Keep Smiling" card.
Now, I giggle about that, but he gave that to someone who actually lost it. Yeah, she was from Jamaica, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and then he picked up the card. She went, and you could see she read it, and she went, "Oh my gosh!"
And she lost it. She lost it for a good minute.
Yeah. Okay, now I have to shout out on the Keep Smiling cards. So Ken is co-founder basically of this movement, this Keep Smiling movement, and he's always getting people to take pictures with this smile card. And he doesn't talk about how, why, and where, and whatever. It's all in the book. Once you get the book, well, what it is if you read the back of the card, he received this card as from another stranger, from Barry Shore. Gave him this card, and it affected him. Now, what I want to share is I walked with Ken through Newark, New Jersey, and New York. There are homeless people all over the place, and they're asking for money or asking for food or whatever. And most people walk by and do, "I'm sorry, I don't have any," or "Here's a buck, just keep going." Not Ken. Ken had a wad of ones in his pocket, and he had a wad of Keep Smiling cards. And what he did with each one of them is he would walk up to them and he'd say, "I have something for you." And they would think he was going to hand them money. And he would put this card in their hand, and their whole face would light up like, "Thank you. No one's ever given me a smile before," or "Thank you for seeing me." And then he'd give them $1 and he'd say, "I'm going to give you some advice." And he'd give them advice about how to use a card. And then he'd give them a little stack of cards, and he would leave them, and they would be a completely different person. I mean, they were sitting there all tired and all hungry, whatever look they had. When he left them, they were smiling and sitting up and like looking for the next person they could give a Keep Smiling card for. And I looked at Ken and I said, "These cards aren't cards. These cards are life-changing." And he said, "Yeah, I know."
My favorite moment was when we were about to do a crosswalk, and there were 2 guys that I don't think the average person would stop by, especially if they're not.
Scary.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't thugs, but let's just say they weren't people you'd want to get in a mess with. But that's a good way, right? And he was right next to me, and so I said, "I got something for you." And he took it from me. He goes, "What's this?" And I said, "It's a smile." And he looked at it. He goes, "That is cool." And he goes, "I needed a smile." Well, then his friend comes over, and his friend is not any friendlier. I think his friend was looking to make sure that everything was safe for him. But he says, "I got one for you too." And I gave it to him. And he says, "That is dope." And he started laughing so loud. I mean, I
You
felt,
changed the energy.
I tell you, I felt that if anyone messed with me in that moment, those two guys had my back.
They did. I
Yeah.
mean, you shifted the energy when you walked up, and they were that one guy was standing next to you. I'm like, oh, please, Ken, don't talk. Please, Ken, don't talk. Please, Ken, don't talk. I mean, I'm in my head doing, please just keep walking. We'll just keep walking. He is, hey, I got something for you. I'm like, Ken, you sound like you're gonna hand drugs to him. I mean, you're gonna get us killed. Then he hands that smile and everything changed. And then when we were walking across the street, I heard them talking to the people around him. Yeah, that man just gave me, that was dope. He just gave me a smile. I mean, it was like a domino effect of all the people around us.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
Well, and if you think about it, when we do smile, it always shifts the mood for not just ourselves, but for others. I mean, you get a smile back when you give a smile. And
well, and just think, the morning that we were leaving at Dark 100 to get to New York, the man that you gave a card to the day before was still in the train station, and he saw us. He goes, "Oh no, you want to come this way." Remember, he was trying to help us.
Yeah.
It was the same guy.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, I'm almost speechless about it because it is an experience that I've tried to have a lot of photographers and a lot of other people. Just if you do it, it is what Barry Shore said. It is a way of shifting humanity into joy. I mean, that's really the best way to put it.
So, Ken, how can they find out more about the Keep Smiling movement? Because pretty much everything that Amplifluence does, everywhere we go, we bring the Keep Smiling movement with us. But look up which website?
TheKeepSmilingMovement.com.
Keep Smiling.
And by the way, if you go to Amplifluence, we can send you e-cards. We just learned that when you run out of cards, you can put it right on your phone and hold it up, and you're still doing it. But to give the card to someone else, those are physical, and we'd be happy to get you cards. We'd be happy to get you ebooks, whatever you need.
KeepSmilingMovement.com.
Yes. You know, I think that the world is on a pendulum of negativity and positivity, and when we don't believe there's hope, and we don't believe that we should connect with people, and we don't believe that someone next to us could be experiencing a shift in love and joy that they give to others, we actually start giving up, and then we have that needle go in the wrong direction, and the world gets dark. It gets to be a place we don't want to live in. So all these little gestures, they add up, and as Malcolm Gladwell says, there's a tipping point in everything you do. There's a tipping point in hate, there's a tipping point in love, there's a tipping point in music, there's a tipping point in brands. So I do this card every single day, every single time I get an opportunity, just like Barry does, because I believe that that's one difference I can make. So I think if we have more people, and by the way, the new part 5, I'm so proud of, because it has just people that really stand for positivity as leaders. And being a leader is one thing. Being a positive leader who's a stand for inspiration, a stand for not being the ego, but being the person that actually inspires others to be authors, speakers, leaders, influencers. That's the kind of leader I want to follow.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I need you to keep talking because I'm trying to find the link for Alistair to put on YouTube.
So let's see. You've talked about DC. We've talked about the books. We've talked about the birthdays. I'll tell you, for me, I think the show is a wrap because I have all my notes taken care of. Let me just think if there's anything else I can come up with that would be, well, I mean, we didn't mention today this, My Own Worst Enemy, and his other book that came out is a quote book. So we're getting 3 quote books, and anyone that would like a quote book, I don't think I have that handy, but I have a quote book for speakers and leaders. And Michelle, are you wanting to give your ebook away of quotes?
Of course.
Of course. I mean, why wouldn't you? And then we have the new Denver book. I have all kinds of books around here. I might as well be showing them off. So if your city would like to have a book of the lovely people that cause smiles. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I opened up to this page.
Oh, Robert.
And his dad. His dad is the coolest guy.
Is it day right after him, really?
Yeah, that's his dad. And I have to say, we talked about adoptions of Aiden. I adopted Robert's dad as my other dad. He is so phenomenal. But this is, if you go to our page and you want any of the books, just learning about how to get 5-star reviews, that'll change your life. If you Oh, I want to thank all the people that gave a subscription to Amplifluence. And when you share the show, you're helping us get the word out about this show. But more importantly, we're going to attract the kind of people that I think you want to see. So everyone that does any analyzing of distribution makes decisions. Hey, I need to spend my time with this show because it's more valuable, which is why I give big love to Add Value to Life, because Robert and Noel are all about value. I'm looking to see if I have any other books. I think I've actually gone over every single thing. Yeah, we did. And we're already at least 3 minutes. We've done 3 minutes of our show already, right?
Oh, only. We're at 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that's typically where we stop. So I had enough notes to get us through a 40-minute show. So that's all I got to say about that.
Awesome. Good job.
By the way, that's a Forrest Gump. That's Forrest Gump. Remember when he says the shrimp? He does the shrimp for like 5 or 6 minutes.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. No, I can
After
tell
you've
you.
gone on for 8 days. Now I have to tell you that.
See, we're done.
That was your list. Well, and what I have to tell you about this whole July 4th thing, if you can come to DC with us for this multi-author book launch, no matter who published your book, come. This is a gigantic gathering of authors from whoever, wherever, all coming to one place to celebrate that we have books, and then cross-pollinate our books so that we can share each other.
There are 3 differences. 3 differences and 3 days. 3 days, 3 differences. Most people don't go to new things or go to the same thing because they think it's the same thing. This is quite different. This is different on 3 levels. One is we are going to be using a lot of media to make sure that you are seen beyond the event. So if we have 100 authors, this is not 100 authors looking at each other and hoping that 10 or 100 people come up. This is going to be an experience where everyone is going to be taught how to share, and we're going to photograph, we're going to videotape people talking about their book, their mission, their purpose for their book. That's just one. Yes. The second thing is we're going to, as a community, show the authors how they can support each other by giving their books away as ebooks to each other. And if you have 100 authors and everyone agrees to read the book, and if they like the book, give a 5-star review, you may end up with 50 new 5-star reviews on your.
Do you have that handy?
What's that?
The 5-star review book. Do you have that handy?
Yes, I do have it handy right here.
Okay. It's like, I don't have it handy. Oh, you changed the cover.
No, this is a different one. So we have the Amazon 5-star review club. That's 5-star review club. This is how to get 5-star reviews, period.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, and the thing is
number 2, let me give you number 3. Number 3. So we have media, then we have reviews, which is social proof. Third thing is technically we build a community, we build a campaign. But the third thing is I think, which is exciting, is you get to have your book at all these iconic places in DC, and you get to show in that group format and also by yourself that you travel with your book, that your book's important, and that Independence Day is significant enough to say your book changed your life and it will change others. That's the third part. And I don't think that's really brought into the conversation of a festival or a book fair. And this, I think, is quite different with that regard.
Well, and that's the other thing about us. I mean, if you follow Dr. Smiley or me, we are all about community and amplifying everyone. And that's why together it was very, it made sense for us to do Amplifluence together. And then, of course, Todd is our techie guy, because that's what we naturally do. We naturally meet people and do, how can we help you be better? How can we help you go to your next level? We're bringing all these authors together for that reason. How can we amplify you? What do you need, and what are you lacking that we can help improve, or what do you already have that we can amplify? And then we can all work together to be better, bigger, faster, stronger, and outside of our normal sphere of people. So authors like me, we would have our book. Hi, Sally. Have our book. And then we would say, this is my book. And you share it with your friends, and then it stops. What we do is we're expanding your friend circle so that your book goes further out. Yes, Sally, we were talking about your book earlier.
So I have one more thing.
Wait, July 4th is the DC launch. If you can get to the Denver area on June 19th, Sally and I are having our TV premiere. That's a really great way in order to meet other authors and other movers and shakers from all around the world, because they are all coming to see us with our book launch, not our book launch, our TV launch on June 19th. I'll put that in the chat in here somewhere too.
Okay. Good. So the only thing I didn't put down in my notes that was something that we talked about we were going to cover was eating healthier
Oh, yes.
and wellness. So thank you, Jennifer Myers, for being a stand for wellness and being such a dramatic impact on Michelle's life that she recommended you to help me not lose weight, but to feel better and to live better and to live longer. And I have my good friend, Dr. Vinny Leonetti, who's got his book out coming out July 4th, Staying Alive, on Independence Day, Staying Alive. And it's a book about how you can have longevity and vitality in your life. I have chosen, as of 2 days ago, to give up meat and get as dry as I can with alcohol, that I am substituting with water and juicing and carrot juice and just lots and lots of water. I bought these tumbler glasses. I think they're 64 ounces. I mean, they're massive. So I have been I've been shedding at least a quarter pound. At least a quarter pound I shed, Michelle.
Okay, then I have to tell you something that Jennifer's going to automatically tell you. Because
And
when I first lost she helped me with, I dropped my first 80 and then she helped me get down my next, I think 120. She's going to tell you no juice. Don't juice.
Yeah, because juice has sugars, but
It's all sugar. If you're going to eat the fruit, get the fiber out of it. But
so
don't drink.
I'm doing the juicing where you put the whole thing in and you eat it. So you're getting lots of fiber. I heard that is actually okay. But I do agree with you. If you're just juicing and you're drinking juices from the store, you're getting lots of sugar.
Yeah, be careful with that. And especially if you have, for those of you who are out there who have any slight tendencies for being diabetic in any way, shape, or form, don't do that, because your body don't like like the juice.
And on my Facebook page, I did a teaser for why I'm checking out the vegan side of life. So there are 2 teasers that are a little bit wow. I'll just say wow. If you go to my Facebook page and you see those, did you read them yet?
I have not been on Facebook.
Okay. Well, and by the way, it's the Facebook. They're going back to adding the in front of it again. So it's going to be the Facebook.
Anyways, I just know that Jennifer Meyer helped me on my health journey. And for those of you who watch me, you've seen me transform into who I really, really am. And I'm healthier. I'm wildly energetic, and poor Ken has to keep up with me. So that's probably why he wants to shed some pounds, huh?
Did you say Jennifer Myers? You said Jennifer Myers with an S,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because she's not just a Meyer. She is the whole S. She is the plural of Meyer. Yes, she is.
Because Lisa Olson helped me with my first 80. And then Jennifer Myers helped me with the next 120. But by then I was combining them. And then the rest of it was attempting not to die after every surgery.
That's a good goal, by the way. I love that goal. I'm going to put that as one of my top goals.
Don't die.
Surgery. Yeah, but anytime you have surgery, you should have that as a goal. Don't die. Good job.
Now, Dr. Vinny has changed my husband's life. My husband's been editing his book, and he's like reading his book, and he says, I thought I drank enough water. Apparently I'm not. Oh, I thought there's a sequence of eating food to help your body burn. I'm going to have to shift that up. I mean, so my husband, who's a lean, mean fight machine and always watching what he eats, he's very, very cognizant of what he does with his body. He's read Dr. Vinny's book called Staying Alive. Matter of fact, I like a couple of those covers that you sent. I kind of wish he was doing this.
With number 3. Yeah, he didn't.
He would do it.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. And by the way, I agree with him, because if it's not natural to you, don't do it.
No, and it's corny.
Yeah.
His book is life-changing. For my husband, who has been doing so well, I mean, he's retired military, and he's stayed the same size and shape pretty much when he retired. Most people gain weight. He never did. And so that he's already had this routine to read Dr. Vinny's book before it's been put out, because he's editing it. He's shifting his life, and he's already feeling a difference in his energy, and he's just started doing it. It's amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait for the world to get Dr. Vinny's book. Anyways.
July 4th.
July 4th. So I'm so glad we had this time together. We've been on for 54 minutes now.
Yeah, it's a record.
It's a record. This is as long as we've ever been on.
This is supposed to be the 20-minute one, by the way.
Yeah, we were supposed to be on and off, but that didn't happen. We just had so much going on, and I will share the pictures of the billboards from New York Times, from the Times Squares, because that was incredible. If you look at my cover photo, on Facebook, the Facebook. It's the picture that Ken took while we were there. The other thing happened is I had a special show on TNC, my mental shift that I do, and on the new channel, because we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary in the Philippines of being the new channel. And I'm on 6 billboards in Metro Manila too. So I went from the billboard in Times Square, and then 2 days later, all over Metro Manila. I'm like, wow, it's billboard time. Anyways, I had to
It's
share.
Manila Gorilla time. That's what it is.
Well, Manila is Times Square
Yes.
of the Philippines. So it's huge. And I'm on 6 billboards there. Can you
In case I'm not with the program of getting all these books we showed, if people will just want, I'll make a list and you can put my phone number in the comments. They can just text me. I'll go ahead and send them all the books. That's probably easier.
Put your phone number in this.
And yeah, go ahead and do it. Or no, after the show. You can put it in after the show if you're interested in the books, because I can send them out easily if they email or text me. Sound good?
Oh yeah. Well, what's your phone number or what's your email?
It's Dr. Dr. period Smiley.
Wait, Dr.
P period Smiley amplified@gmail.com. Did you do it? Did you get it? Did you did it?
Yeah, but I spelled interested. I spelled interested wrong. Interested in the books.
That's close. Did you spell books right?
Nope, didn't do it.
Oh man. Because if you
interested in books, in the book list, Dr. Smiley Amplified at Gmail. You'll have to do it on the Facebook one.
Yeah, I'll do it on that.
No, because I write, when I write, I am on YouTube.
I've heard of that. They're actually thinking about going with the YouTube. So this is crazy. Everyone wants the in front now. Because we have the keepsmilingmovement.com as the website. And I think with that the in front of Keep Smiling, I think a lot of people are starting to take hold of that. They want that the. Because there's another way to say it. It's the. So if there's like a lot of Facebooks out there, that is the facebook.com. You get me?
Yes. Okay. So I put your email on both the YouTube and on my page. And so if you're interested in the list of books that Ken said, send it to him, email him and say, hey, I want the list, and he'll send it to you. Sound good?
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, just so everyone's communicating and feeling self-expressed, if you're not interested, just email me and say, I'm not interested in any books that will change my life. I don't want you to feel like you can't do that.
Thank you, Ken, for that clarification. So July 4th is exciting and huge. I really need to decide on my cover for.
And July 3rd is the beginning. That's the social, and that's actually possibly the Barnes and Noble Day. So that's a big day too.
Yes, I'm excited. It's going to be a phenomenal week. You do know the Times Square thing. I didn't get tired till yesterday. I was on such a high, and then yesterday I couldn't open my eyes. I'm like, I'm really tired. I was in Iowa at my girlfriend's house. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to get on the airplane. I am so tired. So your dopamine high just finally wore off. And yeah.
Well, you actually went to Omaha when you were supposed to go to Utah. So that was kind of a big trip too.
Well, and actually I misinformed you. Because Iowa and Nebraska share an airport. So I flew into Omaha and then went into Iowa. And stayed in Iowa.
Now it's all making sense. Now it's very clear.
Or for some Iowa people living in Iowa, they say Owie. Iowa. I was in Iowa. Anyways. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It was a joy to work with us.
Did we hit an hour? We're about to, aren't we?
Whoa, right now in 54 seconds.
Do you want to wait and do it to have our first 1 hour show, or do you want to wait until another day?
We're almost there, so we can just ramble for a little bit till we hit 1 hour. It'd be kind of cool.
We could. I was just thinking that where else we could put the like with this.
How about I like the Dr. Michelle Moross coming to you July 2022.
There you go.
That was really funny to see PhD at the end of my book. I'm like, I got to work my butt off right now.
Well, I'll give 10 seconds. If you know someone who wants an inspiring story, we'd like to get volume 6 out in July. We have volume 5 coming out for the July 4th. The July 4th event. Nice. So big
Michael,
is Michael
you want
here?
to say hi? Say hi to everyone. You can meet our quiet editor that no one ever gets to see. And he's wearing a Captain America shirt just to prove that, you know.
Oh, wow.
You have to come down.
Never
You're live.
again.
You're live. You're live on the air. Hi.
Hi.
So that's it. This is Michael, the editor for most of my books, pretty much all of my
Yes.
books. And that's it. We just hit 1 hour. Woo, woo! We hit 1 hour. We did it.
Next time, 2 hours. Okay. There we go.
No. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. If you have not liked and went over to the YouTube page and subscribed, please do that. We'd love to get well over the 100. Thank you to all those who got us to the 100. But now let's go to 1,000 and keep sharing all the live streams. Have a wonderful week, everyone. We'll see you next week, hopefully Wednesday. And until then, be well, be safe, and
Keep smiling.
stay amplified. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care.